everybody, this is Happy Franky from Hungary, and I've got a little riddle for you. A brain game. This time, it's all about money and friendship. Please listen to this short story, and at the end of the story, I'm going to put a question to you. Try to answer that. So let's see the main characters in this story, in this little riddle. Well, we have three animals. The wise owl, he's called Oliver. Then we have a duck, David. And we have a frog, who's called Franky. These animals have been very good friends for many years. And they all live on a tropical island somewhere in the world. The island is divided into 1,000 zones, actually 1,000 sectors. The wise owl, Oliver, is actually the most clever animal on this island, and he is living in sector number 1. His friend, David the duck, is living in sector 270. And the third animal, the third friend, Franky the frog, is living in sector 22. The animals on this island, because there are a lot of animals, not just these three guys, so the animals on this island are rather poor. They work a lot, but they have very little money. They have the money for the necessary food and things, but sometimes they think to themselves, well, it would be so good to be a rich guy one day, and then I would have a car and a nice house, and I could buy some jewels for my wife, and we could go on a tour around the world, and so on. Well, you have to know that the richest animal on this island is the gold-making pig. He's called Peter, and he has 180 golden coins. And now the story. Well, the wise owl invited his two friends, Franky and David, for lunch at the weekend. The two friends arrived and they sat down around the table. They ate something very delicious, pumpkin seeds with olive oil. The wise owl put 3 plates on the table, and he put some pumpkin seeds on each plate, and then he put some olive oil on the pumpkin seeds, and of course he put some napkins, some white napkins on the table. And then they had lunch, and after the lunch, Franky the frog took a napkin, cleaned his mouth, and said, well guys, I've got to tell you something very interesting. Something very strange happened to me yesterday. Just imagine, I was walking in sector 400. that is the beach, my favorite beach, and there was nobody on the beach that time. I was just walking there, and suddenly I saw something on the sand. And I went closer, and it was a small box. And I took the box and opened it, and you won't believe, I found 100 golden coins in that box. You can imagine how happy I was with that. Wow! His friends were very enthusiastic, and the wise old said, "And Franky, what did you do with that gold?" "Well, actually, I don't want to spend it immediately, so I went to a certain place, to a certain zone or sector on this island, and I made a hole in the ground, and I hid the small box with the 100 golden coins there. And of course, I will not tell anybody where I hid the money." Well, the other animal, the second friend, David the duck, also finished his lunch, and he took a white napkin and he cleaned his mouth. Then he put the napkin on the table and said, "Well, guys, you won't believe, the same thing happened to me yesterday, but in another sector, in another zone on this island. I was walking in sector 800. It's also a beach, and I was just walking, and suddenly I found a small box. And I opened it, and you won't believe, I found 100 golden coins in that. Unbelievable. I was so happy, and as Franky did, well, I also went to another sector, another zone on this island, and I made a hole in the ground, and I hid the box with the golden coins. The wise old said, "Well, my friends, you are really very lucky. So now you have 100 golden coins each. So you are rich guys. I'm happy. Well, thank you for coming. Now I'm a bit tired and I would like to sleep a bit," he said to his friends. Franky and David said goodbye and they went home. And then the wise owl said to himself, "Well, I'm really happy that my friends are so rich, but I know we have been friends, very good friends for a long time, but I also would like to be a rich guy, and I would like to give many things to my family and to my loved ones, so I think I have a plan. I have a plan. I know it's a rude thing, and never do that in real life, dear viewer. I'm just telling it to you." So, the wise owl had a plan. He wanted to get the 200 golden coins somehow, and he knew that in that case he would be the richest animal on that island. So he figured out a plan, and then he invited his two friends for lunch again. So the next weekend, the two friends arrived, they sat down around the table, and Oliver, the wise owl, told them, "Well, guys, I have a plan. Actually, I have a question. Do you want to be, either of you, only either of you, but so do you want to be the richest animal on this island? Either of you could be the richest animal on this island with my help. I am the wise owl, and I always have very good ideas." So the two friends, Franky and David looked at each other and they started to think. But then the wise owl said, "Don't forget, only either of you can be the richest guy." It means, if you follow my plan, then either of you will have 200 golden coins, but the other one, the other animal, will have nothing. This is my idea, so think about it. What do you think? Well, the two animals started thinking and they looked at each other once again, and then Franky the frog said, "Well, I am for it. I want to do that." David, what do you think, David? Well, David said, "I think I want to do that as well. What is your plan, Oliver?" Well, the wise owl said, "Now look at the table, guys. What can you see here? You can see 3 empty plates. And I swear to you, and you, dear viewer, you also have to know that these plates are totally clean and empty." Then the wise owl said, "I have some pumpkin seeds in this box on my right side, and they are also clean, and there is nothing special about them. And then I have, as you can see, some olive oil here, and I swear to you, and also to you, dear viewer, that this olive oil is also clean, and there is nothing special about it. But I have something very special in this little box. Let's call this material truth-telling powder. It's a special powder, some very special powder. You cannot see that, you cannot smell that, you cannot taste it. It is tasteless, and it has no fragrance, and it's transparent, so you cannot see it. But what about the effect of this truth-telling powder? Well, if somebody eats from this powder, or, it's very important, if you touch your mouth with this powder, if this powder somehow gets on your mouth or into your mouth, but it's enough, just your mouth. If it is touched by this powder, then in the next 30 minutes, for half an hour, you will have to tell the truth if there is any question to you. And at the same time, it has another effect. You will not be able to move your body, only your head. So these are the effects. So maybe now you know my plan. I am going to, if you say yes, of course, I am going to put some pumpkin seeds on each clean plate. Then I am going to put some olive oil on the pumpkin seeds. And then I am going to take this little box with the truth-telling powder, and I will put the powder only on one single plate. And then I will put the box away. So, only one plate, only one portion of pumpkin seeds and olive oil will contain the truth-telling powder. And then I will start mixing the plates. Just imagine mixing the plates on the table for 1 or 2 minutes, and then none of us, so nobody, will know where the truth-telling powder is. And then, well, then So I am not going to play, I am going to watch and oversee this little action. So either you, Frankie, or you, David, will eat first, and then the other animal, and then we will see what will happen. So of course, as I told you, if somebody eats from that powder, then he will have to tell the truth. So if my plan works, then either of you, because I will put the question, where did you hide the golden coins? And you know, the animal who will eat, the animal that will get in touch with the truth-telling powder, so he will have to tell the truth, and then the other animal, so either Frankie or David, you know, so the other animal then can quickly go to that certain zone and search for the hidden treasure, the 100 golden coins, and then he is going to be the richest animal on this island. So, do you want to do that? Then the two friends looked at each other and they said, yes, let's do it. And now, dear viewer, just imagine, so the wise old took 3 clean plates. He placed the plates on the table. He put some clean, untouched pumpkin seeds on the plates, and he put some olive oil on them. And then he took the little box with the truth-telling powder. He opened it very carefully, and he put the powder, the truth-telling powder, on one of the tables, and then he put the plate, the box away, and then he started mixing the plates. And after 2 minutes, of course, none of the animals knew where the plate with the truth-telling powder was. And then the wise old flipped a coin, and according to that, Frankie the frog was the first who had to choose a plate. Well, Frankie the frog chose one of the plates, and then David had to choose another plate. And, well, now you could say maybe the truth-telling powder was on the 3rd plate. That is an option as well, but let's see the story. So, then the 2 animals had to start eating, of course. So, they enjoyed the meal. They were very much satisfied with the quality of the pumpkin seeds and the olive oil. And then, at first, Frankie finished his meal. He took a white napkin and he cleaned his mouth carefully. He placed the napkin on the table and he started waiting. Then David also finished his meal. He took a white napkin, he cleaned his mouth carefully, he put the napkin on the table and he started waiting as well. And suddenly, what happened suddenly? Just imagine, both of the animals, so both Frankie and David, suddenly felt that they could not move their bodies. What does it mean? Somehow, both of them, we don't know how, but both of them ate from the powder or just got in touch with the truth-telling powder. And in that moment, the wise old asked, "My dear friend Frankie, tell me please, where did you hide the 100 coins? In which sector?" And then Frankie, he did not want to tell the truth, but because of the powder he had to tell the truth. So he said, "I hid the 100 golden coins in sector 204. "Thank you for the information," said the wise old, and he turned to David. "My dear friend David, where moment because the wise owl stood up and said, "I am very much sorry, my friends. I know we have been friends for many years, but now probably you know what I will do next. I am really sorry, but now I will leave you here and I will go to sector 204, take the golden coins, and then I will go to sector 999 and I will take the 100 golden coins also from that sector, and then I will be the richest animal on this island." And he left his house and went to the sectors and he took the golden coins and he became the richest animal on that island. So dear viewer, the question to you is, how did Oliver the wise owl do that? Once again, the tables, the plates were empty and clean. The powder was in the little box. It was not on the pumpkin seeds, not in the olive oil, and he put the truth-telling powder only on one plate, and then he mixed the plates. But somehow, as you heard, both of his friends, Franky and David, had to tell the truth. So how did the wise owl do that? And now, please start thinking, maybe it's not hard for you to find it out, to solve the little riddle, this brain game. But the question is how fast you can solve it. Or if you cannot solve it, of course, you are going to hear the solution in some seconds. So now please pause the video, stop, and start thinking. And then if you go on watching the video, you are going to hear the solution from me. And now, dear viewer, the solution. Well, it's very simple. The truth-telling powder was on the white napkins. Well, the wise owl had put the truth-telling powder on all the white napkins before his friends arrived. And as I told you, they took the white napkins and cleaned their mouths, so they got in touch